have a confession to make. My mother is an awfulizer. If I have a headache, she thinks I need to go to the emergency room because it has got to be a brain tumor. One day, she told me that she was really thinking about how sad she'd be if I died of a car wreck while I was driving. I was 6. At that point, the only thing I'm driving is Malibu Barbie's dream car. But see, to my mom, it's not really awfulizing. It's preemptive worry. You see, if you worry enough about something, it doesn't actually happen. Like last December 21st, the day the Mayan calendar was supposed to expire, my mom worried about that for 2 years, thinking through every possible scenario and how we would survive. And then the day arrived and nothing. The Mayans started a new 5,000-year calendar, and the world went on. See? Preemptive worry works. You can't really blame my mom. Part of it is her heritage. She's the only one in the family that's not at least part Italian, and the Italians just don't worry about anything. Oh, the house will burn down, and we have no place to live. Well, we've got warm coals. We'll make a lasagna. Play some cards. My son, he ran away to join a cult. I'm never going to see him again. Well, you have 5 others. You'll never miss him. Come on over, have some lasagna. We'll play some cards. The only time the Italians ever take anything seriously is when it's murder. And then we have my mom's family, Germans and Irish. 2 groups of people who take just about everything seriously. I mean, look at it. The Germans are the disciplinarian mothers of the European Union. They send Greece to bed without any dinner. Spain isn't allowed to go out and play with the other countries. And they tell Italy they don't get their allowance until they finish their chores. And then you have the Irish. Have you listened to our music? Danny boy, I'll take you home again, Kathleen. I wish I was back home in Derry. I swear, it is all designed to convince the Irish if they leave the island, they're never going to get back. But the Irish do one thing really well. They have a blast at a wake. Dancing, drinking, laughing. They do death so much better than the Italians. And that's where I got the idea for my husband's wake. We had no flowers, no retrospective of his life playing on a laptop. I didn't throw myself in a grave. We had a whiskey bar. Dal Winnie and Glenn Livett were both there, along with 43 other lovely bottles of scotch from all over the world. And to quote a friend who was there, a grand time was had by all. Now, I did learn something at this wake. I learned that people say the darndest things, like, I'm sorry you lost your husband. Okay, let's be clear. The man isn't lost. I know where he is. Half of him's under a tree, and the other half's in an urn next to my bed. If he was lost, I could put up signs all over the neighborhood. Picture, reward, somebody'd bring him home. But since he's been cremated, I'm thinking he comes back, we're talking less miracle and more Stephen King novel. The other one that gets me is, you should be happy. He's in a better place. Well, that's just lovely for him. He's up there in heaven, kicking back, drinking scotch, and taking guitar lessons from Jimi Hendrix. I'm down here having to fight with the English ivy with a weed whacker. He gets to sit on a cloud and have an intelligent conversation with Einstein, Edison, and Tesla about the theory of everything and quantum physics. And I have a conversation with the phone company about why I don't have a dial tone. Somehow I'm thinking this better life thing, not really working for me. But we do still have fun, even though he's gone. Whoever wins tonight gets a trip to Vegas, and that's where we spent our 25th wedding anniversary. So what if he's in an urn? That doesn't mean we can't renew our vows and see the sights. The trip was so easy. The airfare was only about half of what we expected because he fit so well in the carry-on. And I just had one little problem at the airport when the TSA guy asked, "So, are you traveling alone?" And I said, "Well, no, actually my husband's in the Samsonite." And then there was the look on the minister's face at the little white wedding chapel. Do you earn? Take this woman to be your wife, for better and worse, sickness and health, as long as you both shall live? Now we just have to figure out what it means to live. Because, face it, that urn is going to last 300 or 400 years longer than I am. I mean, it's not like George's ashes are going to come down with pneumonia, or they're going to die of old age. But once we got done with our vows, we went to the shows. Now, George did veto going to see Carrot Top, which just goes to show that the dead do have some taste. But we did hit 9 shows in 7 days, and just like before, George went with me to every one. But there was something missing: the complaining. And then, of course, in Vegas, you have to go to the casinos. Now, I'm not really a gambler, but I figure I have been watching the World Series of Poker for the last 20 years. I can do no-limit Texas Hold'em. There is a whole nother level of stress when you're going all in for real. Especially when you bet your husband's ashes along with the chips. Thank God I made that inside straight. The last thing we did before we left town, we hit the roller coaster on the top of New York, New York. It is such a rush. Barrel rolls, loop-de-loops, and the world-famous banked turn out over the Strip. And that's where things went wrong. I kind of got excited and lost my grip on the urn. Can you imagine? You're walking along, enjoying the sights, minding your own business, and suddenly hurtling at your head is a metal urn. But, you know, if it had been my mother walking down there, she would have been prepared. She has been worrying for years about George dropping it on her.